Hello Retro fans and welcome back to Championship Manager Lockdown Challenge 9798, and this is episode 44. And before we jump right into the episode, then hit that like button down below if you're enjoying the content, hit that sub button. But with that out of the way, let's get into today's episode, as we are getting quite close to the end of season 7 now, or the penultimate season of this challenge essentially. And last time out we crashed out of the Champions League to Real Madrid, a little bit unfortunately. Really, we probably did deserve a little bit more out of it. The red card in the first sort of 10 minutes in that first leg really did put the nail in the coffin, really, and it did leave us in a position where we couldn't quite bounce back, although we definitely deserved to in that second leg. All we needed was one more goal, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. And I think obviously we had some suspensions as well in there, and injuries possibly, which weakened the team a little bit as well. So but then we did beat Saint Etienne just to sort of push home the title challenge that we're currently in. Today we've got Auxerre and Marseille, so two very tough games. I think Auxerre is a cup quarter-final, semi-final, something like that. What is it? Where are we? It's the semi-final of the Coupe de France. So again, another chance for us to get ourselves into a final. I say another chance. Have we hit any finals yet? I don't think we have. But in terms of games since we last played, so we beat Metz 5-2, and to be honest, the score flatters us a little bit. Fugen, he finally arrives. I don't know who he's the region of, but he grabs a hat-trick in this game. Yeah, very good return on that so far. He's got 4 in 5, 3 assists. He's doing very well. He doesn't always look like he is, but he's still young. He's still making his way in this team. He's only just signed. So, and I've just noticed there, Kabadiawara, former Arsenal loanee, was a bit crap, let's be honest. I was hoping he was going to be a success because he looked like he could be quite good, but what was that, about 1999 that was, I think? I don't really remember, but yeah, he was terrible. Rigobert Song's in there still as well. Yeah, so the game, yeah, it wasn't as cut and dry as it looked. I mean, we did dominate the game, and it really was largely that second half performance. We took an early lead. In fact, I think it was 3-0. 3-0 we were, yeah, 3-0. Penalty on the 5th minute by Bailey, and then Fugen got the first two of his eventual hat-trick goals. But then within 2 minutes, they pinged it back to 3-2, and they were having some chances. That first half, they could have been level, maybe winning by half-time. Fortunately, we held out. In the second half, again, it was all on them. I think I made possibly some changes. I can't remember. No, they were quite late changes. I don't know what happened, but the tide just seemed to change, and then we got another goal, and then from there we didn't really look back, and it became a bit of an easy result, or an easy looking result in the end. But Renou getting the goals for them, he's done okay this season. So, but you know, another large percentage of his goals this season have come against us. We followed that up with a 1-1 draw, disappointing 1-1 draw against Guingamp. They really are the bane of our lives at the moment. Fortunately, it wasn't Jean-Claude Darchel that scored. It was Bancarel. I don't know who he is. He's got 26 goals in the course of his career. But an early red card for Didier Domi. Really, again, a red card costing us big. Holter with another goal. That's 2 in 2 for him. But we did still dominate the game. We did still look pretty good. We took the early lead, got the red card, held on right until the end, and then they did what they always do and score against us. But at least we didn't lose to them this time. That's an end to an unfortunate run of results that we've had. But a 3-0 win against Nantes, a hat-trick for Martin Bailey. Very good performance all round. There's not many poor performances in there. Viard, probably because he got booked and maybe didn't have the best game. Rame, pardon, excuse me, still got a little bit of this cough, cold and all that still sort of hanging around. I'm not able to get out my runs yet. My chest is still really bunged up, and I don't feel ill, but I just feel very short of breath and stuff. It's not COVID, it's just a virus, but it just seems to have hit me really hard. And colds and coughs always seem to attack my sinus. I have really bad sinuses, and you know, if I get a cough and cold, I'm dreading it lingering. I know it's going to linger 9 times out of 10. It's going to linger on for weeks potentially. So hopefully next week at the weekend I'll be able to get back out, but I'm not rushing myself. The weight's creeping back on. In all honesty, I've had a few bad food decisions. I always, when I'm ill, eat like a pig, to be honest. But yeah, 3-0 win against Nantes, great result. And then Angers 2-0. Goals from Crossley. Letizier's back in the team. He's in England set up. He's got his first cap. Did okay. And he's doing quite well for us this season as well. So he's back from injuries, got back in the team. I think Stoichkov was injured, so he got back in, and he's probably keeping his place as it stands. Fugen again with another goal. That's his 4 goals we've seen in between. So yeah, so we jump in today. We've got Auxerre. And let's just looking ahead. So the season is nearly finished. We're going to play Auxerre and Marseille today, and then we're going to do Bordeaux and PSG the next episode, and then we'll, depending on how the league's sitting, we may do those last 3 games as an episode as well. So I can probably sit here and record 3, maybe even 4 episodes in one sitting to get myself really far ahead, because I can do the look back as well and do the regen stuff and all that. Now lineup wise, I think we're okay. Ulrich is actually back, not to start, but he can go on the bench. Jordanov is back, but I don't think he's quite giving us enough. Fugen can't play, so we may, do you know, I might stick Stoichkov up front, see what he can do, because Watier's injured. Liebenect has been good, but not quite prolific enough. He's still working his way into the team as well. I think next year could be his year, potentially. Wattier, I think, is on the list now. He's out for the rest of the season, so I'm going to try and just, there's some options for next season I'm already looking at, so I'm already trying to free up spaces. You might have noticed I've transfer listed some players as they score from about the 5th rebound in a row there. Rule. In terms of players, there's a few players running out of contracts. I've had a quick look. So Giggs and Roy Keane at Man United are running out of contracts. If they're interested, I'm going to try and bring them in. If not, I'm potentially looking at Diomed on the left wing from Auxerre, funnily enough. I've tried to get him a few times. He is available now, but we haven't got the squad size at the moment. And obviously the transfer window is slammed shut currently. And I think oh God's sake, what's going on? Completely bottling it in the semi-final. Rule again. Bailey, it's Dida in it. He's just a monster in goal. Absolute monster in goal in this game. Jordanov. Finally, we grabbed one back. I didn't see who that was. I didn't see who it was. It's Halmatimi. So he's obviously still playing at the moment. I think for Americo is injured. I think he's cup tied, isn't he? Americo, I think, is cup tied because of he was on loan and we signed him. Bailey, we might have a little bit of a look. I don't think Jordanov is working. We'll bring Liebenect on. We're going to bring Asensio on for Crossley. He's doing okay, but nothing special. And Rame's having a shocker, so he's going to come out. I mean, he's having a shocker because he's conceded 2 goals. But Bailey, Dida again. Can we get level? We've done all our subs now, so we've played all our cards. What happens now happens. Can we do anything? Bailey, we're having chances, we're just not scoring them. And then when we do get them on target, I think that was Bailey. It was Bailey or Liebenect. I know they were both involved. It was Bailey. I think it was a Liebenect assist. Bailey could have won it, right? Liebenect could have won it as well. Dumar, we're going to go to extra time unless we do it here. Dida again. Riviera. I think Auxerre knocked us out of the other cup as well, didn't they? And it was like this. It was within a few minutes they'd scored in extra time, and after us having the ascendancy, getting back in the game, they won it. They scored in extra time and won the game. I think it was the 97th minute, so it's about now. It hasn't happened again the same, but they are starting to get back into the game. Hamatemi, Rivera on the rebound off the post, I think, and that is us 3-2 in the lead from 2-0 down. Absolute great turnaround, absolute scenes, and it's at our ground. It's not a neutral venue or anything like that. We're at home. Bailey, Dida, I hope he could have sealed that result. Asensio, he does seal the result. It's 120th minute anyway. We are through to the final. It's disallowed, but we're through. It doesn't matter. I don't know who we've got. I don't know who's in the other semi-final. All I care is we are there. So we've also got a cup final we can maybe do an episode for as well, or it will sneak through into one of the episodes. It may even be in today's if it's after this next fixture, because I think their cup final is very soon after. Sort of, it's not like a season closer. I don't think. I think it's nearer the. It's not quite the end. So we've got Nantes, who we've just beaten 3-0. We've got Lyon in the league as well, so it saves them being another live team. So we've got the 3rd of May, so it's not quite this episode. It would be the next one. So let's have a look how that sits. So we've got Marseille shortly in a few days, and then we're going to have Bordeaux, Nantes in the final, and PSG. And then we can also look at the 3 games as a season. How are we doing in the league? I know we're top, but got a game in. No, they got a game in hand on us. They can close to within 3 points, but hopefully, if we can beat them here today, yeah, that would certainly help things. I'm going to put Fugen back in for the next game, and Americo can come back in for Halmatini, and he'll go on the bench. Crossley, he's playing well. I do want to kind of put Asensio in. He should have had his first goal for the season there, let's be honest. But we're going to be back in, 4 days for the Marseille game. See you shortly. Okay, we're back on game day. Two things happened in amongst that. So we've got a suspension. Viard is going to be out of dummy suspended as well. So Dumar comes in. That's a simple one. Viard, we're going to bring in. We're okay for 1 spot. So we'll bring Zielius in. Although Randall's been better, to be fair. The second thing that happened, I saw Wimbledon appoint a new manager. I know their manager just left them. So they're in Division 2. They are on the verge. We'll obviously see this in the season, but they are just surviving going into Division 3. I mean, what a fall from grace. They got promoted into the Premier League with us at Fulham a few years ago, and they've just been on the descent ever since. But their manager left to go to, I think it was like Stevenage or something. It was Alan Kirbishley, I'm pretty sure. It was Alan Kirbishley. Do we have manager records on here? I don't think we do. No, it doesn't look like it. I don't think you can see previous managers and stuff. But so he left to a non-league team, who I presume are going to be the team that comes up at the end of the season. But they have just appointed Vinnie Jones as manager. What a story. He's obviously retired in the game. He's not in the game. He's not in the team anymore. But he is their manager. They've got a lot of players on loan. I'm assuming they're in sort of masses of debt. Not as bad as we were, but I mean, yeah, Paul Zetterberg's still there. They've still got some big wages down in these 13,000, 10,000. I imagine their attendance isn't great. They've got a 26, obviously, still at Sellers Park, 26,000. But I don't imagine. Yeah, they're hitting 8. I mean, they're still pretty good for Division 2, 8,000 average. But yeah, they should be doing better than that. But anyway, let's jump into the game. Away at Marseille, first versus second, doesn't get much tougher than that, and we've got two big players out. As I mentioned in the last commentary last game, we've got I think Capron might be transfer listed. He isn't, but I'm thinking of cashing in on him because he's always injured and he's a bit crap. He's not playing very well. When White's listed, we've got better options. He's not a very good defensive midfielder. He can play attacking midfielder, but I think we've got better options now. Afenu, obviously, we're trying to get rid of. We've got Hazel listed, but we can free him for like peanuts. So if it doesn't work, but he has played well last couple of games. But yeah, I'm not too sure about him. Blochel, Stan Collimore's regen. Yeah, he's doing okay, but I think we can get better. And Pepper, obviously, we're still trying to get rid. But I think he's still going to cost 2 million if I want to free transfer him. So if we can try and sell him even for like, nothing practically. I don't think the board would let us do that, but if we can sell him for almost next to nothing, then I'd take that in a heartbeat. Louis Sahar up front for Marseille. Obviously, they've just signed Zidane from PSG as well, so he's playing today. I don't know whether that's affected them a little bit, maybe disrupted their team a little bit, because obviously they were doing flying, but they've lost top spot and a good points at the top clearance as well. So maybe some of the signings they've made haven't, although they're fantastic players, like Zidane and I think there was someone else, it maybe has just disrupted their momentum and their winning team a little bit. Obviously, there's still going to be a tough game for us today, regardless. As we get to half time, I'd take a draw here today, I think. Obviously, if they win their game in hand, that puts them within 3, and that would still be the case. But hopefully, whoever's playing them in their game in hand beats them or gets a draw against them or something. Like I say, if they've been a little bit stuttery in recent results, obviously they'll turn up against us today because they always do. Bakayoko's in there as well. He's a fantastic player on this game. I don't need to explain that. Probably have done in a few episodes down the past as well. But we managed to just keep them out there. But we haven't really given much at the other end, I don't think. No, we've been absolutely battered in this game. We are going to take Fugan off. We're going to bring Lieberknecht in. Crossley's going to come out for Asensio, and I think. Do we need to put a bit more strength in the middle? I mean, Dumar's having a shocker, but we haven't really got anyone else. I would have maybe liked to have taken him off, but we've got Sanyol, but we might sell him as well. Bailey, big games. I've said this a few times. He is just the ultimate big game striker. I mean, this season he's come on leaps and bounds anyway. He's scored so many goals, but he always pops up in the big games when it matters. I think he did in the semi-final, didn't he? I think he gave us the lead in the semi-final just a moment ago. I can't remember exactly, but I think he did. He is the ultimate for getting us goals, big game mentality. That's what he's got. Yes, there's that Zidane in there, got an 8. He's done okay. He's only been there a couple of games. Louis Sahar, he's new signing this season, but he's done okay. He's come from Rangers. I mean, 15 and 14 in Scotland, but I mean, I'd probably get 14 and 15 in Scotland, to be honest, especially back in those days. Bakayoko, yeah, he's doing very well as well. He probably plays just behind. If he's playing up front, they're not the best numbers, but if he plays just behind, that's where you get him. But they've got Zidane just behind now. Sahar's not an out-and-out striker. I don't know who their out-and-out striker is there, but that is a fantastic result, and that really does open things up. Now, we might, looking at the time on the video, I might actually have time to do another game in this one, and then that will bring the cup final into the next episode, I think. Let's have a look. If it's the cup final now, no, it won't be now. But we'll let this run its course. Oh, there we go, it's run its course. A shock defeat. We're top. What utter nonsense. Very good result. I mean, yeah. I mean, if it's such a shock defeat, that should be better than a good performance. Marseille third now. So who's gone up to second? PSG. I mean, they're not quite collapsing as I thought they was. I have seen a couple of results not go their way, but obviously I think Marseille have got a game in hand, so they will probably take over them if they score it. I mean, if we look at PSG, what are they doing now? They've got Trezeguet out of contract. If I can sign him, no, we can't obviously. What are they playing? So they've gone back more to a conventional formation now. Okay, so maybe it was just that one game in particular that didn't work, but they've got Gravison. I think he is a centre-back on this game, yeah. He's played on the wrong side, but Larrazabal is a left-back, not a centre-back. Martin, I mean, I don't know why they haven't switched. Perez is a left winger, Koku's a left midfielder, Danielson's attacking left midfielder, Kono's attacking left midfielder, so they've got no one that can play on the right. Are they injured? Or, I mean, worst case, they could stick Canute out there, but no right-sided midfielders at all. And then you've got Maurice and Henry. I mean, you've got Maurice and Henry up front. You're in with a chance. They're kind of okay for strikers. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, plus a couple of others that can play there as well. They've got about 6 strikers. No right-side midfielders. No out-and-out right-backs. Not many centre-backs. Not many centre midfielders. I mean, the way that Jean Tigana has run this team, they've got 6 million in the bank. They're going to have to spend some of it in the summer. But that is absolutely ludicrous. So we've got Bordeaux in the next game, and Nantes and PSG. Do you know what? I'm going to play Bordeaux now. So we're back for the first. We've obviously got an international break coming up. So we'll let the computer run through that, and then we'll come back for that Bordeaux game, who are fourth and have just beaten Nantes. So, yeah, we've just seen some news. But back shortly for the Bordeaux game. Okay, so here we are, back at game day. We did get another Manager of the Month award, which is great. Nothing else really of note happened. We've got a suspension, I think, in the team we've got to deal with. Yes, we have. So Viard is back in, but now Sands is out. So Randall comes back in for his position. We've put Ulrich back in the middle. And what interestingly did happen, I noticed Americo wins his first cap for Brazil, but he was also captain. I didn't realise he had such high influence, so we've put him as our captain. Obviously, we've now made him our set-piece taker. He's got very good attributes to that. It was Crossley. But Cross, because he's got 20s in those positions, but I haven't seen much from him in terms of goals or, free kick, sort of anything resulting from it really. So I've put Americo in there because he's possibly just a generally better player. So we'll see if he can deliver a bit more. Plus Crossley isn't always guaranteed to start, and the players that come in for him aren't necessarily gonna. I'm terrible at keeping track of me set pieces and changing them when I change players. So, but we jump in. Nothing else has changed. Oh, we've got Domi back in. Dumas gone back on the bench. I mean, I think he might be gone. If he doesn't retire, he'll be gone next year, I think, Dumas. He's been a bit of a liability towards the end of this season. I think maybe his legs are starting to go. I think he is 34 years old or something, so yeah, he was really just free transfer, get some reinforcements in this season when we were really struggling. Plus, he's an ex-Monaco player, so we got us some bonus points there as well. As Randall gives the ball away. I don't know who Marseille have got today. I didn't notice on the fixtures. If the eagle-eyed amongst you may have seen, but we'll have a look at the end of the game. We're going to keep a close eye on what they're doing. PSG, obviously, we've still got to keep a bit of an eye on because they're actually technically second. Marseille haven't played their game in hand yet. As far as I'm aware, I didn't notice it. We had an international break, so not surprising. Monaco whips in a corner. We don't quite score from it. But 0-0 at half-time. Obviously, we can always go back to Bailey. Bailey Crossley. Oh, he's injured. So we are probably going to have to change set piece anyway. I was just about to finish that thought. We may go back to him for set pieces anyway, but we might have to in any regard now because it looks like Americo is going to be coming off this game. He's not having the. He's done okay, I think. Oh, who's that? Anderson. It's not Sonny Anderson. He's listed as well. Transfer listed him. Zielius is listed as well. But this isn't good because this gets Marseille straight back into it. We've done some good results lately, so Americo, he's actually playing okay. currently injured. We are going to take him off. We don't want to make it any worse. Liebenect for Fugen and Asensio for Crossley. See, that's what I mean about Crossley. He goes missing in too many games. He's not consistent enough. So if he has a bad game, his set pieces aren't going to be there either. We should have scored about 4 rebounds. Not one of them resulted in a goal. We're pushing on now, but we're just not getting the chances we need. I didn't change the set pieces, did I? Who's going to be on them? Not him. Probably Rivera. We'll put him on corners. We'll keep the penalties as a first come first serve basis. Whoever wants it, and we should be leveling this game. We've had chances now. Bailey, big goal, big man. Bailey, he does it always. If you've got Bailey in your team, and it's a goal's needed, a goal is desperately needed, he's going to be the one that pops up. I mean, we battered them in the end, really, but they had 11 shots, but only 3 on target. One of them, of course, makes its way into our goal. We have 9 on target, only 1 makes its way into the goal. Let's see what Marseille did. Hopefully they've drawn as well, or dropped point, or lost, ideally. PSG too. Hopefully PSG's, their threadbare squad, I think it is going to become a factor. I keep saying it. It's happened a few times. They've dropped a few points, but they're still in there. They're still battling away. The quality they have got is enough, but they've got so many players out of position, and their midfield has got no one that can defend in it. So there you go. They've drawn with Nantes. So that was always going to be a tough game. So that drops them down a little bit more. Marseille have drawn against Angers as well. Goalkeeper getting man of the match. They've been robbed probably more than we have. They've been CM'd more than we have. So it's still PSG second. Marseille with game in hand will take them to what? 6 points behind, I think. I think that's what that does. So it's a good cushion. That was vital that they didn't sort of win their game there and put the pressure on a little bit more. Obviously, Bordeaux we've just drawn against. They're a very good team. They are 4th. I think they are the champions, the reigning champions, or they were champions a year or so, the season before maybe. I can't remember. But they were either champions when we got here, or they were champions after we got here that first season. I can't really remember. I think it was one before. So anyway, we're going to come back next episode. We're going to do the Coupe de France and PSG. That'll be the next episode. We'll try and keep that as a bit of a shorter one, then we'll go a little bit more in depth for that next one, which has all the last 3 games. And I think that is some Lorient, Lyon, and Nancy. How does that look? Lyon are there. Lorient are mid-table. Okay. Nancy are rock bottom. So that's got to be a banker for 3 points. Lorient really are safe, so not much to play for. In fact, I think a lot of these are. Nancy are gone, so they haven't got the R yet. So technically, there obviously is mathematically enough points, but by the time we play them, I think they're going to be gone. Lyon, they got much to... They can maybe get into a European spot, so they're going to be going for that a little bit. But anyway, we'll come back for those to the next episode anyway. If you've enjoyed today's episode, smash that like button down below. Hit that subscription button if you're new around here as well. And yeah, for that next final and big PSG game where hopefully we can exploit their threadbare squad, I will see you next time. Take care. Goodbye.